I'm Nathan Olivarez-Giles with the Los Angeles Times, and if you've been looking at all the new Android smartphones coming out and seeing the screen sizes getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and been wondering, when's it going to be too much? Ladies and gentlemen, this is too much. This is the Samsung Galaxy Note. Now, Samsung and AT&T would have you believe that the Galaxy Note is a whole new category of device, fitting somewhere between a smartphone and a tablet. And at 5.3 inches on the screen, it is sized between those two categories of devices. But it's too big to comfortably use with one hand, and it's too small to really honestly use effectively with two hands. And fitting in between just doesn't work for me. Now, on the hardware side here, you do have some nice top-line specs that are very similar to the Samsung Galaxy S2, which is an Android smartphone that I do very much like. You have a 1280 by 800 resolution screen, which does look good for watching movies. It's only 0.38 inches thick, and it weighs in at just 6.28 ounces. On the front, you have a 2 megapixel camera for video chats or even some photos. On the back, you have an 8 megapixel camera that can shoot up to 1080p video with a single LED flash. On the inside, you have a 1.4 gigahertz dual-core processor and 1 gigabyte of RAM. And underneath this plastic cover on the back here, you have a micro SD card slot where you can add an extra 32 gigabytes if you want, but there is 16 gigabytes of included storage. Now, a big feature that Samsung is pushing in its marketing here is an included stylus that Samsung is calling the S Pen. Now, this device can be used to take a screenshot of whatever it is that you have on screen, and that doesn't always work exactly as I'd like it to. I found that to be a bit buggy, only working about half the time. Now, there's an app that Samsung has included here called Memo, which you can use to either, sketch out different ideas that you have or take down some notes, maybe a grocery list, but the screen doesn't always pick up every single stroke that you have when you're drawing or taking a note. In my testing, I found that it's always easier just to type out whatever note that you want to use. And while I do love drawing, I still don't see this replacing a pen and paper for me. Now, Samsung again would say that the Note is an entirely new class of device. And in my opinion, this is a class of device that really doesn't need to exist. And all that Samsung has done for me is create a really big phone.